Hello guys, welcome to this video. So in this video I will talk about a JavaScript library which is called as EChart.js. So this library allows you to actually make these bar charts, line charts, pie charts and scatter charts, and it's a charting library where you can actually draw these charts using some kind of data, and also we can export these charts to PNG image as well. So individually you can click this button to actually export these charts to a PNG image file so that you can see these charts. So we can take any data, for example, so this is actually a bar chart where we actually take on this data. This is the x-axis, this is a y-axis. Similar, this is actually a line chart. So similarly, we can export this to a PNG image file. Then this is actually a pie chart where you can see that. So we can even export this pie chart as well in the form of an image. So, and then this is a scatter chart. So it's a very handy library if you want to do some kind of plotting and charts. So if you just type on Google eCharts.js, the very first link which comes, this is actually the documentation about eCharts. I think this is actually the Apache eCharts. This is the name of the library. Open source JavaScript visualization library. If you want to visualize something on the browser in the form of charts, you can use this library. And in this tutorial, we will look at a very systematic, simple example in the browser, how to get started with this. So I will delete everything and start from scratch. So all the source code which is used in this video is given in the description. So the very first thing we will need to do, we need to include the CDN of this library. You can just write here CDN, and you can go to this website and grab the JavaScript part, or you can go to their official website as well and then click on examples. And so documentation is good. You will see example for each and every chart. So it supports multiple charts. We will take example of the four basic ones. So first of all, you need to include the script tag. This is actually the library. This is actually, we have included the CDN for this library. Now we can use this. So now in the HTML, we will actually be having four div tags for having these four types of charts. So the very first chart, we will say bar chart. We will give it an ID to it. And after this, we will have a simple button below this to actually say if you want to export this save bar chart. So we'll be giving an ID to it, save bar chart. Similarly, I will copy this and paste it three more times. The second one, so here we need to change the ID. This one we need to give line chart, and also here also we need to change it, save line chart. So we can now change this to save line chart. And the third type of chart is pie chart, so we will give this one to pie chart. This button will, this ID will be save pie chart. And the fourth type will be scatter chart. just change the ID here, scatter. So if you open this now, you will actually see 4 buttons. So you just need to write some basic CSS for this. So we will target the chart container class which we have given to each of the div elements. So we'll give it a fixed width to it of 600 pixel and a height of 400 pixel, and also a margin of 20 pixel auto. And also we'll be targeting the button tag, and inside the button we will be changing the display property to block and margin 10 pixel auto. So each and every div will have a fixed width right here, you will see that. Now we need to actually include the custom JavaScript code that we will write. So just make a script tag and include the script.js. So we are including this custom script.js right inside this JavaScript code. Now we need to get all the references of the div elements to initialize the charts. So what we will do, we will declare the variables let bar chart. So we need to initialize it using ECharts. So in this way you can initialize them. This contains a function called as init, and here you need to pass the reference of the chart element. So here we'll be passing the reference. We will be getting the ID which we have given to the bar chart. So here we are passing the ID that we have given to the div element. So we are passing directly to this function. So similarly we'll be declaring the 3 charts which are there, which is this one will be for the line chart. Here we'll be changing the ID to line chart. Then we have the pie chart, and this one will be the scatter chart. So now we have initialized all of these charts one by one by using this init function right here. And now we need to assign the data. So by using that data, we'll be constructing these charts. So first of all, we will be having the bar chart. We'll be declaring a bar option object. So inside this option, we'll be having some configuration object, which is actually the title of the chart. So this contains 2 properties. Sorry, first property will be the title, which will be saying bar chart. The second property here will be x-axis. So as you know, in charts we have x-axis and the y-axis. So here we will be providing the data here. You can take any data, for example, if you want to do plotting. So let's suppose I say here shirts, or I take here any data you can take. So we have taken the team names in the x-axis, and now similarly we have the y-axis as well. But for the bar chart here, y-axis will be empty. So here we'll be providing empty object. So here we need to provide the data for the x-axis that we declared, these team names. We now need to give some values to it. So now in the series option right here, we will be giving this square brackets. Inside this, we will have the type parameter, which is bar, and the second property will be the data. So this data can be anything. It can be number value, it can be string value, it can be floating point number accordingly. So I will give some numeric value here, 5, 20, 36. So now if you check in the, and lastly we need to set this option to the bar chart. So you will say bar chart. There is a method right here in the inside ECharts, which is set option, and here we need to pass this bar option which we constructed. So now if you check the browser, you will actually see a bar chart has been constructed with the data that we have provided. In the x-axis, we have the team names like Australia, India, New Zealand, West Indies. And on the y-axis, on the values, we have this. So depending upon how much value that you have provided, so you can see how the bar chart looks like. So you can just modify all these values. Let me change this 5 to 45. So now this the length of the bar chart increases. So this is a very basic way by which you can make simple bar charts in browser. So now if you want to export this into an image file, if I click this button, so how we can do that? We can actually bind a simple method which is available inside ECharts. If you want to save the charts or export this into an image file, so we can actually construct a function right here, save chart, and we'll be passing the chart and the file name as argument. So inside this function, what we will do, we will actually convert this bar chart to a base64 by using a function which is get data URL. This is actually present as a built-in function inside eCharts. This is not any third-party function we are using. It is already built in inside EChart.js. So it takes three properties. First is the type, which is a PNG image, and then we take is the pixel ratio, which is 2, and then the background color of the chart. So you can select any background color. You can provide hexadecimal code or RGBA value. Let me provide here FFF. This is actually for white color, hexadecimal code. After we construct this object, now we just need to simply download this as an attachment. So we will be doing it simply by using anchor tag. We'll be creating it dynamically. Then we will be attaching it this image data, which is a base64 code. Then we will simply download this by using link.download, and we'll be giving a file name which is passed, and then we'll be clicking it dynamically. So now we have actually written this function. Now we simply need to call this. So once we can bind this function as soon as we click the save bar chart button. So we have given the button an ID here. So when we click this button, we will execute this function which is save chart, and here we'll be passing the reference of bar chart and the file name. So we'll be giving a bar chart.png. So if you now refresh and click this button, so if you see your, as soon as I refresh, nothing happens because I think save bar chart. Let me see in the index.html, save bar chart ID is correct. Save bar chart. Okay, we can't directly call this function right here. We need to write it like this. So here we need to do this like this. So we can't directly do this. We need to write this function like this. So once we click the button, this arrow function will execute, and inside this we are calling this save chart function. We are passing the reference of bar chart, which is actually this object that we declared, this variable. And the second parameter, we are passing the file name, which is barchart.png. So if you refresh, click this button, and now if you see, the image file is downloaded, and it actually taken the screenshot of this bar chart and exported this to a PNG image, and you see exactly what is available in the bar chart in the form of a image. So similarly, we can do this for pie chart, scatter chart, and line chart. The logic will remain the same. I will simply copy this 3 more times. So I can simply say here, so whatever is the IDs that we have given here, which is save line chart. So I will simply change this to this one will be pie chart. This one will be scatter chart. So in each of these scenarios, the same function will be called, but the arguments will change, the chart and the file name. And similarly, for the line chart, there will be set of parameters that we need to declare. So right here, we will simply say line option. And for the line chart, if you know, basically we have similarly we have the title we need to provide. So this time this will be line chart. And now to plot the line chart, we again have a x-axis. So x-axis, we will give some values. So data here will be array of values. So again, you can say, you can take similar data, the team names, and then on the uh, y-axis will be empty. And then again we have the series option right here. Here we need to provide the type parameter, which is actually a line chart. So again, you provide the data like this. If you refresh now, we do need to add this. So for adding it, we can say line chart dot set option. So now you can see we have these team names appearing in the x-axis. You can even change the, if you want to this to appear on the y-axis, you can even change that also. So you can do this y-axis and delete it from the x-axis. Just make it an empty object. So now it will do this something like this. But this is not looking good. By default, we do this on the x-axis. So I'm just showing that you can also do it on the y-axis as well. Similarly, we can also do it for the y-axis. If you don't want to, we can paste these on the y-axis. So it will look something like this. So now the data is appearing in a vertical manner coming from the y-axis. So you can do it on the x-axis, y-axis, depending upon how you want to construct the chart. And then we come to the pie chart. So pie chart is also very similar, little bit easy to construct. So in the pie options, once again we will have the title. This time this will be pie chart. And then we have the series here. We don't have the x-axis and y-axis in pie chart. We simply need to provide the data in pie chart. So that is little bit easy. So here we need to put the type, here will be pi, and the radius we need to provide here, which is you can provide any value. I will provide 50%. Then comes the data here. So data here represents two things. First is the value and second is the key parameter. So let's suppose I want to provide a value here. So value represents how much share is it takes. So let me provide 80, and then I provide a key parameter or a label that you make. Let's suppose I give this 80 to USA, which is a key name, and then similarly this is one entry. Similarly, we'll put a comma, we will write the second entry, we'll put a value to be 20, and here we'll name it to be another country, let's suppose China. Similarly, these are two entries. Once again, we'll be constructing a third entry. I give value to 50 and name, let me give it Japan. Now we have three entries in the pie chart. If I refresh it, we also need to add this. So we can simply say pie chart set option, pie option. Let me see. We copy this right here, just with pie option. So now you can see this is actually pie chart right here. It doesn't involve any x-axis, y-axis. Entities are there, and we give percentage or value to each entity. So you can this is the you can change these labels to anything. It can be country names, it can be items, it can be anything. So value represents how much share it is there. You can see that. So depending upon how much value you get, you basically give to any entity, it will construct that pie chart to you. So these are the three most used charts, visualization types that most people use, which is bar chart, line chart, and pie chart. It also has scatter chart as well, which is not most widely used. These are the three specific ones, and all the source code is given in the description. And this is a very handy library, eCharts. You can read more about it. Documentation is given for each and every chart type that you can see right here on your screen. So you can see that it's a free library, which is the main thing. So no need to pay for anything. So this was the tutorial, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please hit that like button, subscribe the channel as well, and I will be seeing you in the next one.